So like what the actual fuck? And then he went on this apology video. Oh my God, I could not believe this apology.
Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the SaVeg podcast.
Whoa. Hey, guys.
God damn, one of us ain't ready.
I wasn't. I just kicked the mic somehow. These mics, I tell you,
Guys, we are in the... I'm in the Christmas spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing a Rudolph hat or headband that I got from the dollar store.
Are we going to do like a proper, like, remember last year?
Yes, I think we should dress up. Yes, I think we should dress up again.
I might get my fake eyelashes on.
Oh, yes, let's do it. Let's do a whole dressed up, like, Christmassy episode. Because, guys, we're already almost at Christmas.
Yes, let's do it.
Guys,
Done.
Before we jump in, just want to remind you to join our Patreon. If you don't know, Patreon is where we do exclusive content every single month. We do an exclusive episode, which is only available to the patrons.
Yep.
And all the episodes you get a week earlier than everybody else. So it's a lot more timely and it's all ad free. So definitely join us. The link is below in the description or show notes.
Yep.
Or you can go to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. And it starts as little as what, Daniel?
$3 per month, guys.
It'd be cheap as hell.
Cheap as it. That'd be cheaper than coffee these
Yay.
days.
Anyway, guys, so we are going to talk about... I feel like we should be drinking, but I don't want to be drinking.
Also,
so we're going to drink tea.
Yeah, we're having tea.
We're having tea.
While we spill the tea.
While we spill the tea on Love is Blind. Now, you guys might be like, this is old fucking news.
Yep.
Which it is, but, poor Daniel did not watch it until this goddamn week. So
I was going to say, like, you know what, Rose, you beat me to the chase. I was going to be like, Rose, why is it so late? And you were going to obviously...
I didn't give you a chance.
No.
So we're going to talk about Love is Blind. I mean, we don't even know if any of you want to hear this.
But I mean, I feel like
did you poll the public?
I did not. But you know what, guys? I do feel like this is a tradition. Every single year we've done this.
We got to talk about the
fail.
Love is Blind.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it, you're going to get spoilers in this video or this podcast. Yep. So if you don't want spoilers, go and watch it and then you can come back and listen to this episode.
Many, many spoilers.
Exactly. We're going to talk about the whole thing. Yeah. So yeah. You've been warned, okay? Spoiler alert has been given. But before we jump into talking about Love is Blind, I have to talk about this story.
Oh, God, what happened?
Okay?
Rose?
Now, I know Daniel does not spend much time on the internet, which is actually a good thing.
I think it is, personally.
It is a good thing.
Yeah.
But I want to tell Daniel about this story, and I want to talk about this story. First, I want to show you a picture.
Am I going to be like, what is going on, Rose? I feel like I'm scared. I'm scared for a lot of reasons.
Okay, so this man has been in controversy in the recent weeks.
Controversy.
And I want you to guess like what the controversy might be.
Okay, just from the picture.
I'm going to show you a picture. Have you seen him? Do you recognize this man?
No.
I want to show you.
Can you guys see that on there?
If you guys can see.
Yeah.
Daniel's not very good at technology or anything, so I don't know if he can put a picture up.
I could put a picture up, Rose. I've done it before.
Okay,
I've spliced in videos.
Okay, maybe I'll let you put a picture up.
Over it, guys. Over it.
So, can you guess what he might be famous for, first of all?
He's some kind of like weightlifter, bodybuilder.
Okay, pretty close, I think.
Yeah. And is it the controversy around maybe steroid use?
Oh, look at you.
Something has happened with regards to,
So this man's name is, what he calls himself online is Liver King. Why does he call himself Liver King, Daniel?
I have no idea. Why would anyone call themselves the Liver King?
Why?
Is it because he eats a lot of liver?
Yes.
So like... Is that part of it to bulk up?
So no. So this guy became really famous on social media.
Okay.
Over the past, I don't know, probably a few months. I don't think he's been around for that long.
Yeah.
And I don't know too much about him. I do remember some people asking me what my thoughts are on this man. So I have Googled him before.
Yeah.
But I don't spend too much time on him because he got really famous because he eats not just liver, Daniel, raw liver.
So he doesn't even cook it.
He doesn't cook it. And now, I don't know, he might cook some of his meats, but he seems to eat a lot of raw organs. That's his thing. He eats raw testicles. Like, what the fuck?
That is really weird.
And then he became really fucking famous because he has this body and he's like, oh my, and he's like, he preaches like this like ancestral way of living. You know those people.
Oh, is it like it's like those people that talk about that, what's that diet? You know, the paleo.
Yeah, kind of. But he takes it more extreme because he's doing like raw organ meats and stuff like that. And this is like this is the kind of shit he's promoting. So of course I have a problem with this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Who the fuck? Why the fuck?
I know, raw testicles in your mouth? Like, who does that, Rose?
I think some people think, I don't think this is correct. I think some people think that if you like eat the organ, like if you eat the organ, then that organ that you have is going to
get better,
be fueled. Which is, I'm pretty sure that's just pseudoscience. Yeah. Like if you eat testicles, they think they're going to get like testosterone or something, which I believe that's pseudoscience. Anyway, I mean, it might be right. Who the fuck knows? But you're getting a lot of other shit with it. And promoting eating raw meat is dangerous at best.
Well, yeah, because we all know, like, you can get all kinds of viruses.
Yes,
and all
it's
kinds
gross.
of stuff. Like, you know, that's one of the reasons. I mean, before when I was eating meat, like back in the day, when I moved out of my parents' house, I actually, when I was cooking in the house, I always cooked vegetarian.
Oh.
And only when I went out to eat was I eating, because I was always nervous about undercooking meat.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, you hear about people getting like, you know,
salmonella or whatever the hell.
All sorts of stuff, right? So
anyway, he preaches this like primal ancestral way of living where he's like
caveman.
Like, kind of like he thinks he's a fucking caveman. Like, it's so stupid.
Clearly Rose likes him.
And he has this like his crazy body, right? So what's been under speculation in the last few months
is that he does steroids.
Was that he does steroids, but then he never ever, he was always denying that he did steroids. And I guess like steroids, I don't know anything about steroids, but I guess like the term that they use is like PEDs. I don't know what that stands for.
No idea either.
So they use PEDs. So anytime he's so fucking lame. Anytime someone would ask him on like a podcast, they'd be like, oh, so are you on any PEDs? He'd be like, oh yes, I am. Yes, I prioritize, execute, and deliver.
He sounds like a real piece of work.
So anyways, he's been denying being on steroids. Now, anyone with two fucking eyeballs, even one fucking eyeball, can see that the man is on steroids. Yeah. It is not possible. Like, I don't think that's humanly possible.
I know, that's what I wonder, and maybe I'll put this out to our audience as well, because like I've always wondered this, because like, for example, like I know that you can get to a certain physique just naturally working out, right? Like you can get pretty bulky, but then I guess where there's a disconnect is I'm like, how big can you get without using steroids?
Not that big. Usually not. Most people, that's the thing. In the bodybuilding world, it is so common. Yeah. Like if they are in the top of the bodybuilding world, you can almost guarantee that they've taken steroids.
The ironic, or not even the ironic thing, the thing that's really scary about bodybuilding is those people are actually so unhealthy.
So unhealthy. Because that's not normal. Even without steroids, I feel like to be that big, like to have that much muscle and like to feed yourself, because you're overfeeding yourself as well to gain that much muscle. I don't feel like that's healthy either.
Well, one of my friends' brothers years ago, he like bulked up a lot. I don't know if he did steroids per se, but he used to like come into the cafe and he would like eat like so many eggs, so much stuff.
God, it's so
like
gross.
Just this crazy amount of food. And I was just thinking to myself, like, oh my God. And he did get really like this. And I was like, oh God, but like, it wasn't healthy.
No,
like,
it's not healthy. I mean, so this man claims he is not on steroids. Now, recently, there was some drama because, well, already everyone was speculating. People were talking about this guy. They were like, he's definitely on steroids. And he's saying he's not on steroids. And something got leaked. One of his emails got leaked. Turns out he's on a fuck ton of steroids. Because he like sent this email to like, I don't know who it was. Maybe it was like his like, I don't know, like the person that like gives him the steroids. I don't know. Yeah. And some like, I think it was like on YouTube that he got like exposed. And so like, the email got leaked and it got like super exposed. And now it's been like basically like everyone's like, okay, everyone knows that he's on steroids. And now everyone already knew he was. Yeah. But because he was so adamant in denying it, it's like such big news. And I found it so ironic that he's like preaching this ancestral way of living. Yeah. And he spends like, I think it was like $12,000 a month on steroids. Now this man is like I think he earns like a shit ton of money. Yeah. He says that, I don't know what his background is, but apparently so he did this apology video. Okay.
Of course he did.
So it came out.
Yeah.
his apology video, because like at this point he can't deny this, okay?
Yeah.
So he made this apology video, and at first he's like, I'm sorry that I like lied, blah blah blah, and he like starts the video by first he did say like, I think he did say I'm sorry in the very beginning, and then he goes, before social media I was rich but anonymous. After social media I'm still rich but not anonymous. I'm like, what is the point of saying that?
This is
like,
so stupid.
That's such a flex in an apology video. Like, why are you saying?
I know. And you know, honestly though, this kind
Yeah.
of like, I think this is just another example of
Yeah.
like, what do I want to say? Like, not what do I want to say, but like, this happens so much on social media where I think it's promoting this like unrealistic expectation of people. And it's like, I think of the Kardashians right away.
Oh my
because
God,
you know, like
yes.
for example, like Kylie Jenner, for example. And again, it's one thing for the public to have their assumptions, right?
Yeah.
But like until they actually say it or it comes out, you don't know for sure. Like you can obviously really like draw the line, but especially like young and impressionable people,
Exactly.
they're not going to know. And what really pisses me off is it's like, guys, like you're in the social media light, like you're doing these things, just be open and transparent. Like if you're taking steroids, be open about it. Don't put forward this image that you've achieved this type of body type naturally or through some crazy diet or whatever. But like this happens like with Kylie and her lips, you know, she was like for the longest time till she was like blue in the face, like I didn't get plastic surgery, blah, blah. I mean, they've all had so much work done and it's come out over the years now. And it's kind of like, well, you know what, guys, like the images that you're portraying to like young girls and guys for this guy that think, hey, you know what, I'm going to follow this like paleo / crazy diet to bulk up and look like this guy, never achieve those results because they're not taking steroids.
Yep.
And then it's like none of this is realistically naturally achievable.
Exactly.
And I think there's such a problem already with body image out there, and this just is perpetuates the issue, right?
Yeah.
Like the fact that he's now, oh, I'm sorry about this, blah blah. It's like just be a fucking man, or woman, and just or non-binary or whatever, you know, and just be honest. Like I don't see what the big deal is. Like,
well, it's because they're selling products, and that's what makes it a million times worse.
But that's what's worse.
So with Kylie Jenner, for example, I'm pretty sure she didn't own up to the lip thing until after her lip shit came out.
Yeah, her lip
because she
kits.
was selling like a lip kit.
Yeah,
and it's like, girl, it was not the lip kits. Let me tell you.
Well,
that's a small part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
Because lips, sure, like whatever, like, but when it comes to, so for this guy, he's selling like. First of all, he's selling supplements. I don't know, I heard they're like testicle supplements or something. Oh, I don't know why and how he can say, oh, we should follow this like ancestral way of living, but also be selling supplements, because aren't those people all about like...
And then also be on steroids?
I know, but that's the part that he hid.
Yeah.
So he's like selling these supplements, being like, if you want to look like the Liver King, you want to get these supplements, you want to follow this way of living.
Oh,
yet he's on fucking steroids.
Yeah.
So like, what the actual fuck? And then he went on this apology video. Oh my God, I could not believe this apology. I listened to it like a few times. I was like, is he saying what I think he's saying? He's like, oh yeah, he says, oh yeah, I was anonymous before and now I'm not anonymous. I didn't know how to deal with this. He was like, I never intended on becoming such a, such
public
a
figure.
I'm like, excuse me, you spent probably so much money on like promoting your social media presence, and I'm pretty sure he has like a team of people like filming him and stuff. Of course you intended on blowing up on fucking social media.
So then I pose a question to you.
Yeah.
Where do you think the responsibility lies, in a sense that, for example, in the corporate world, company does false advertising, there's financial complications or implications, basically, because if you're advertising a product that doesn't deliver, or there's something, you have to do recalls, you have to do all this stuff. So I'm wondering, for these types of celebrities where they're promoting certain products to look a certain way, and then it comes out later actually that was enhanced surgically,
I think they could get sued.
I think that for example,
there could be the class action lawsuit.
Like another example, and again, guys, I haven't followed it too much, but like I know that J-Lo, for example, she released a skincare line, and again, like she looks amazing for her age, but obviously she does a lot more than just this skincare line, and she and people, there was some backlash because she was like, oh, this is how you look this good, blah blah blah, like kind of promoting this skincare line. And it's like, where do we, not necessarily us, but like, where is the line where actually this person has crossed the line and there should be financial repercussions? For this guy specifically, lying about being on steroids, lying about this stuff, selling these supplements, saying this is how you can look this way. Well, ultimately, it's false advertising. So really, all of those sales, or a portion of those sales, he should have to refund.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I wonder how much he was using it. Like, I wonder how much he said, like, this is how I look this way. But I think, like, when you have your shirt off in every single video and
It's
you are
insinuated,
exactly,
too.
you're promoting that lifestyle.
Exactly.
And you're showing, like, your fucking, like, non-human abs.
Exactly.
Like, literally
It's
in
like,
every video.
It's like Kylie Jenner with the lips kit, though, too, right?
Exactly.
She might not have explicitly said, this is how you get these lips.
But I think that's how
but
they
then
avoid
she
lawsuits, maybe.
puts it on her lips.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
I'm pretty sure she explicitly was like, oh yes, like I just use like a lip liner.
lip liner.
And it's like, okay, bitch.
I literally, if that was the case, your lips would look ridiculous.
Unless you're injecting fat with that lip liner.
I know.
It ain't making your lips like that.
But this is where there's a lot of gray,
Yeah.
not necessarily gray area, but a little bit where it's like,
Yes.
where do we draw the line? And I feel personally that all of this, regardless if he explicitly said, hey, you can get a body taking these supplements, it's false advertising.
I feel like they could sue him.
And I think that he should be subject to that. Like, that's just my personal opinion.
Totally.
Like, if I go on there and I'm like selling some kind of like band that makes your ass grow,
Yeah.
you know, and then it turns out I had butt implants the whole time, that's false advertising. I shouldn't be promoting that product to say,
Totally.
because then people, even if I didn't necessarily say specifically, I got my ass from this, it's insinuated in the marketing.
Interesting.
So like I'm like, oh, where's the unless I was upfront and honest about it at the beginning of the time.
Yeah.
Hey guys, the great butt thing. I had implants, so but they'll never do that, right? But I just this is where there's a lot of, and I feel like this happens with a lot of influencers where you know, they're promoting products for a certain look or a certain thing, and it's like, are they surgically enhanced? Are they, doing this? Like, I don't know.
It's all shady.
It is.
So he went on to say in his video, first of all, he's like, I didn't think we would blow up so much. And he is basically saying that he already had this brand before he became like a social media figure.
Yeah.
And he tried to insinuate that, being a social media figure didn't increase my sales, which is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
It is literal bullshit because he blew up on social media. And yes, maybe his business was successful before.
Yeah.
But trust me when I say that I'm sure that it has increased significantly because you don't put your image out there like that and not have results.
Exactly.
And then he has the audacity to be like, I try to preach this ancestral way of living so that I can help the young boys that are suffering from mental illness every single day, suffering from suicide ideation. I try to help them because like he talks about other things other than like diet. He's like, yes, there are some things he says, which are so fucking obvious, by the way. He's like, like sleeping well, like socializing, just like he has like these like things called like his ancestral tenets or something where he follows these like rules of life.
Yeah.
And they're all like very basic shit, right? It's like, well, some of it's a little bit extreme. Like he like sleeps on the floor or something. I don't know. Anyway.
He doesn't have
but I'm sorry. The audacity of you to bring up the mental health thing for young men when you are putting, again, this image out there that you are portraying this unhealthy body image.
Exactly.
And you think you're giving these young kids some kind of like hope or you're...
Well, and this is the thing, these unhealthy body images. So even if a kid like decided to go down this extreme route, get a body like that, they're going to be so unhealthy and then they might, have other complications and all sorts of stuff. Like it's just, it's so bad.
It's so crazy.
Like,
and I feel like his brand is probably not even going to suffer. Now he's just going to sell steroids or something.
Yeah.
But it's so fucked up because his whole thing is like, he's like, oh, now I'm going to talk about how to take steroids in a safe way. I'm like, bitch, your whole brand is about being natural and ancestral.
It's
like,
so fucked
fuck
up.
off. Your whole brand should be like demolished at this point because you've been lying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
It's
anyway,
crazy
that's
to
the
me.
drama.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did also remind me of the Kardashians and how they like act like they didn't get any surgeries and they didn't do any of this, and yet they're selling like skinny teas or they're selling like all these like butt enhancements
or shapewear and all this stuff.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, yeah, if you wear shapewear, it can give you a certain shape, but also so does liposuction, butt implants, boob implants, facelift, Botox. You know what I mean? Like the list goes on.
Yeah.
And
he was like this. He was like, oh, I didn't think that it was important because I'm not like a professional athlete. So, I kept telling myself that it wasn't important for me to disclose that information. I'm like, first of all, you weren't just not disclosing it. You were blatantly lying about it.
Yeah.
Second of all, it is important when you're selling products, telling people this is how you look this way.
Exactly.
And third of all, like, again, you're portraying this unhealthy body image that you got through like literally
steroids,
hundreds of thousands of dollars of steroids.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to say that you're trying to help young boys. Like, fuck off.
I know, it's so
And plus, you're
stupid.
eating so many fucking animal products. It's a detriment to the goddamn environment. Don't even get me started on that. Of course, no one's talking about that part.
Yeah. The whole thing's a mess. And I think again, it just like, it reinforces that the need or that thing where it's like they're eventually or at some point there has to be some kind of like line drawn where it's like we as a society or our government regulation steps in or something where it's like we no longer accept, because actually like I know for like companies and stuff there has been some crackdown on advertising and all kinds of stuff, like if you have a false or misleading ad you can have financial
like you're not allowed to say certain things.
Exactly, you're not allowed to do certain things. And I think that I think the problem is like quite often the internet goes or advances go faster than legislation keeps up. So the whole world of influencers and selling products this way and doing that, it's like the legislation is slowly catching up, but it's not fast enough. Where it's like, we need to start putting in some controls in place to say, and they're starting to, but it's like baby steps. You know? Like I think, for example, now on Instagram, you have to have hashtag ad or like,
I mean, that's been for a while, but
little things like that though, but they never used to. That didn't used to be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, in the very beginning,
in the beginning, people could
Yeah.
write whatever they wanted and people wouldn't know it's an ad necessarily.
Yeah. It would have to.
So,
yeah. I know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there was a case in Korea a few years ago. There was like a really famous mukbanger.
Yeah.
And he was like famous because he was eating so much food, yet he always had like the best body, right? Like he had like a major six pack and he had like muscles, very lean, and he would always eat like so much food. So I think a lot of people were like obviously curious. They were like, how the fuck are you like eating
How
this
do you
way?
do this? Yeah.
And then one day he like started promoting I think he like created some kind of supplement brand or something. And then he was like promoting it. And then he, of course, like he actually I think he got sued or charged for false advertising because he was telling people like, this is what I have, like this is what I took to get the body. And then everyone's like, buddy, you've had this body for like since the beginning.
Exactly.
So like, don't tell me. So then he actually got sued, and then he got like properly canceled.
Yeah.
So I don't think he like does videos anymore.
Yeah. And see, and that should be, I'm not saying that necessarily people need to get canceled per se, but like definitely I think there should be some financial implications. Like start slapping people like this guy, for example, he's, selling these supplements and now we find out later and blatantly denying that he's doing steroids, selling supplements for a certain image, whether or not he directly correlates the two, it's insinuated in the ads. Yeah. And then you find out later he's actually on a shit ton, like an unrealistic amount of steroids.
Tens of thousands of dollars a month.
That's insane. Like,
how are you alive?
I don't know.
You're literally chewing down organs and eating and having steroids. That's your diet.
Exactly.
I know what's crazy. Like he has I think he has 2 sons or something. Yeah. And then I've seen them in his videos, and they're like, and they like follow his way of eating. Maybe not to the T, but they like eat kind of like similarly.
Yeah.
And they were like stick thin.
Yeah.
So it's like, buddy.
Obviously, but
it ain't genetics.
Exactly. But then again, like this guy. Technically, I think there should be a class action lawsuit against him.
I think so. Maybe there will be.
If I had bought supplements from that guy, thinking along those lines, I would be fucking pissed. I'd be like, well, I got these supplements because I want to look jacked.
Yeah, I want to look jacked.
And you didn't tell me that steroids was part of the whole package. And I needed to spend.
I think as adults we can see it, but like as I said, like with kids, like you don't know
exactly.
Like you're very gullible when you're a kid.
This is the issue. Like right now, if I saw that ad with this guy with the supplements, I'm right away. I'm gonna be like, he's on fucking steroids. Yeah. This is bullshit. Yeah. But a young kid, they're not gonna know that. They're not gonna have that distinction, and that's where the issues lie. Same with Kylie Cosmetics and all these other, promoting especially to that like young demographic,
very impressionable audience.
Exactly, and they're not gonna necessarily have built up the life skills where they have a more critical mind on advertisements.
Exactly.
So that's where I'm like, oh,
so fucked up.
Very fucked up.
Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that little story, and now we can get into the juicy tea, which I like forgot about already, but we can talk about it.
Love is blind.
So can we just say that I predicted all the couples right?
That's correct. You did. Although you say that you did, but I didn't actually see your pre-prediction, or did you send it to a friend?
I sent it to Christelle.
Okay.
So
there
that's
is
my proof. And
there is proof.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sad that you would deny my honesty, or you would think that I'd be dishonest. My name isn't Liver King, okay?
Not like you haven't been dishonest before. No. I'm just kidding, guys.
So anyways, guys, so how are we going to do this? How do we usually do this? Do we talk about each couple?
Usually we do each couple.
Okay.
But first of all, can I just say, Rose, just before we even dive into the couples, still to this day, your prediction or your problem with the show continues. Because I know from day one, when we watched Love is Blind Season 1, we watched Love is Blind Season 2, and here we are, guys, we're on Love is Blind Season 3. And from day one, which I totally agree with this, because I remember like me and Rose talking about this 2 years ago on the podcast.
Yeah.
And you were like, you know what? I somewhat like the premise of the show, but what I don't like is the fact that they're promoting it as Is Love Blind when everyone on there is fucking gorgeous.
They're all attractive.
Like, I'm sorry, if I have a connection.
Although apparently a lot of them don't think that each other is attractive.
Which is wild to me.
We will get into this.
Yeah, like literally everybody on there could be a model.
Yeah, like literally.
Like there was not one single person on there that I was like, oh.
They had like what's her name? They had is it Alexa? The Israeli girl?
Yeah.
Is that Alexa?
Yeah, Alexa, yeah.
Like
Or
she
Alexis?
was Alexis. I think
Alexis,
it was Alexis.
yeah.
She was like the only she's fucking gorgeous, but she was like a little bit plus sized. That was
like
it.
a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was like still fucking gorgeous.
I know.
So it's like
so ridiculous.
Again, ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that was like their like one person that was like a
I
little
know.
bit outside of the standard of beauty.
I know. And I was just like, oh my God. Like
Yeah. Anyways.
So
Okay, so how should we do this?
Which couple should we
This
start
is what
with?
I wrote in my predictions in my notes app. So I said yes. And then this is like when I like couldn't pay attention to some of the names, like, you know, like whatever. I said yes means like people that would get married.
Yeah.
Israeli couple. Matt and ballerina. And then no was real estate douche.
Oh yeah.
SK and Raven. Those ones I remember. Oh my God. We were going to talk about all this.
Yeah.
And then I put Nancy. Who's Nancy again?
Nancy and
Bartiz.
Bartiz and Nancy. Yeah. I was like, Nancy, who is that? I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So I got all the predictions. What were your predictions? I forgot.
So I predicted. Okay, the reason that I predicted the way that I did, though, guys, I text Rose before I watched the wedding scenes, and I thought that there was going to be a shocker. So originally, I did think that Alexis and we have to pull up their names because, like, I can't remember the guy's name.
Oh God, you just watched it too.
I know, but I texted it to you, and like
okay.
There's like a whole thing where my predictions were.
Okay, let me find it.
And originally, I thought that they would not get married only because I thought it would be like a big shocker, you know, because they seemed the most in love.
Yeah.
So I was also pretty surprised. So anyway, I said that they weren't going to. That was my prediction. And then I thought SK and Raven were going to get married.
Brennan's the Alexis.
Brennan and Alexis I thought weren't, only because deep down I thought they were, but I was like, I think it's going to be the scandalous one.
Yeah.
And then SK and Raven, I was like, yep, they're going to, I'm pretty sure I thought they were going to get married.
Hold on, let me get your predictions. You said Bartiz and Nancy, no. So you got that one right.
Yep.
Brennan and Alexis, no. You said Colin, Zaneb, no.
Yep.
And then you got, so you got the SK and Raven, you got that one wrong. So those two are mixed.
Flipped,
So
yeah.
Brennan and Alexis and SK and Raven, you got them wrong.
Exactly. So which couple should we start with?
Let's go down your list here. Bartiz and Nancy.
Oh God.
So first of all, I just want to say in the very beginning when they were still in the pods, I actually really liked Bartiz and I thought he was the most attractive guy.
Okay, yeah.
What about you? Physically,
I mean,
physically, who was the hottest for you?
I really like Cole.
Oh, okay. That's the
before
thing
he
is,
opened his mouth.
Yeah, the thing is though, him as soon as he opened his mouth, it was like literal like attraction minus 200 points.
It's amazing how honestly, guys,
the personality is so important.
It's so important because like
I mean, looks are important too, but see, like Cole. Me too. Like as soon as I saw Cole, I was like, damn, he's so cute.
That's
like,
who I would go for.
Yeah, he's so cute. He's very attractive. He starts talking. I was like, oh, fuck no.
Yeah. But this is the thing. If we were in the pods, we wouldn't match with him because we'd be like, oh my
That's
God, who
the
fuck is this?
Exactly.
I don't know how him and Zanab had like such a...
I don't know. Well, we'll talk about them. Oh my, did you watch the reunion?
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that. I want to hear all your thoughts. I've been dying to talk to you about this.
I know. It's crazy.
So,
okay.
Bartiz and Nancy. First of all, what the fuck is wrong with Bartiz? I cannot stand. Nobody likes Bartiz.
No,
he's the villain.
I think the problem is like he had a connection with with Raven and with Nancy in the pods.
So-called connection.
Yeah. Sure. Well, Rose. I'm gonna stop you right there. No one will understand the experiences that they have in the pods. No one could possibly. The connection that they have is so intense. Rose will never understand that.
That's why it's so easy to break 2 days into meeting each other.
Yeah. But I just remember, so like Bartiz was obviously with flirting with Nancy and with Raven.
Yeah.
And then I think it was one episode where Raven, like Bartiz that was like pouring her heart out to Raven?
Yes, and then Raven was doing jumping jacks. I was like, what the hell's wrong with this girl?
I was like, who?
I know, I couldn't stand her in the beginning, but my opinion about her changed.
No, mine did too. I actually
But in the
grew
very
to
beginning,
like her.
I think that's what a lot of people thought. Because in the beginning, I was like, what the hell's this bitch doing?
I know, I was like, why is she like doing this?
Yeah, it was so random.
Yeah, but then we'll talk about her in a minute. But like, yeah, then obviously Bartiz had a more intense connection with Nancy.
Sure.
So he was like, Yep, Nancy.
And Nancy was fucking adorable.
She was so sweet.
Yeah.
Really, really nice girl. Like, obviously, we only see certain things on the show, right? Like, we don't see everything behind the scenes. Was so patient.
She was a bit of a doormat, though.
Yeah, she was.
She was a bit too much of a doormat.
This is the problem, though. She was so nice that, like, oh my God.
It's like the things that he said, like, I'm sorry, if they don't warrant a breakup, I don't know what does. Like, literally, as soon as, like, first or second date, they should be in their honeymoon phase, okay? In this weird fucking romance that they have. And then he's like, oh yeah, I saw Raven coming out and she was a fucking smoke show.
In that tight ass dress.
In the real world, we would be such a good match.
Yeah. Well, and also he went on to say, which I was like, this is so arrogant and cocky. Because Nancy was gorgeous. He's like, in the real world, people like me and Raven.
Oh, that was the worst part.
Yeah, he's like, people like me and Raven, people will come up to us. They seek us out.
Oh my God.
We're like the attractive people in the room, you know?
I would have been so fucking mad.
I was like, is this guy for real? And then the best part though is he goes, Nancy, are you okay with me being this honest with you?
And then she's like, yes.
And then Nima, like, I love how she says yes, and then in the interview though, she's like, what the fuck?
But also her face was like, what the fuck?
I know, because like, who does that? Like, it would be like if you're with your partner and your partner's like, don't get me wrong, if my partner like sees someone else that's attractive and like, oh, that guy was pretty good looking, great.
Yeah,
but then
that's
to go
normal.
on about it and be like, oh, we're just two smoke shows. If we were in the bar, everyone would be looking at us. And I'm like, what am I, like, chopped liver here? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Am I Liver King's dinner?
Yeah, exactly. Fuck? Is the Liver King gonna eat me?
Like,
oh my Okay, that took a weird turn, but
I know, it's like literally what the actual fuckery.
Yeah, but I just like love how he's like he tried to like play it off like
as like he's just being honest.
Exactly, and I feel like him and Cole both.
Yes,
they had this behavior which I feel like they tried to play it off as like, oh, is it, I'm just being so truthful to you. I'm opening up my heart.
If I can't talk to you about this, like we shouldn't be a couple. Like they think that they need to be talking about
exactly.
this.
Where I'm like again, I think there's nothing wrong, and everybody
with being honest.
Exactly, and also everybody is attracted to other people as well, and to be like, oh, that person was attractive. Like Bartiz could have simply said, yeah, I did find Raven attractive. She's a good looking girl. He doesn't have to go.
And that's it. You don't have to go on and on about it.
He doesn't have to be like, oh, she's a smoke show. Oh, I'm in love with her. He told her he was in love with two girls.
Oh God, did he say that in that scene?
I'm pretty sure in that scene he said he was in love with both of them.
Oh my God.
Or maybe that was his interview and like just in front. I can't remember exactly, but I just remember,
God.
And then I just remember him like the whole time, like every time he'd have his one-on-one interviews, he kept talking about like the physical with Nancy. And I'm like, Nancy's so good looking. Like, what the fuck is your problem?
I know, but he thinks he's at the top, and he thinks Nancy is a little bit below him.
And this is the thing. In the beginning, again, I kind of liked him too. I was like, wow, this guy's hot. Yeah. He's like tall and muscular, and like very much my type.
Yeah. And then he started being a fucking dick.
Oh my God. And I was just like, the more he went on, I was just like, this guy is such an asshole.
I know. I would be so turned off by his arrogance.
Oh, I'm like, why are you on this show?
Exactly.
Like, this is what I don't understand. Like he literally lived up to all like these like douchey stereotypes.
Yeah. It's like, why are you on this show?
It doesn't make any sense.
My favorite part though was when he started talking to Raven. And like out of the pods when they're in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we'll get to the fucking swimming pool.
Yeah.
And then Raven basically just like shuts him down.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I just feel like you and I, like people think that we're really attractive. And then Raven like cause she like is obviously the hottest one. Like, let's be honest.
She's beautiful.
She's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
She says in the interview, she's like, yeah, he just kept going on about how hot I am, but he didn't say anything about like my personality.
This is where I started liking
like
her
that.
though.
Yeah. I was like, girl, get it.
Exactly. Cause originally I was like, oh, I'm not such a fan of Raven.
I know. I didn't like her either.
And then after that whole interaction with Bartiz and how she shut it down.
She was fucking the
amazing.
best.
Yeah. And then how she was like, honestly, she's like, he just comes over, talks about my looks, constantly about looks. And she's like, I want a guy that's like appreciates me beyond that.
Yeah. And she said something. She basically shut him down completely because he was like, oh, I feel like we had such a strong connection. And she's like, I feel like we don't have much in common other than that we both like to work out. What are we going to talk about? Going to the gym? I was like, yes.
It was so good. It was so good.
So anyways, I'm glad they didn't get married though. What's her face? Nancy and Bartiz.
Yeah. Like it was
I can't believe she said I do. Oh my fucking God. I was really hoping that she wouldn't say it.
Yeah.
Ugh. And then like she was just a doormat until the very fucking end.
I know, I felt really bad for her. I really did, because I think she honestly, genuinely, again, I don't know how genuine any of these people are, to be honest.
It could be all fake.
I know, it could just be like a complete like acting. And we would never know, guys.
We would never know.
But like my thing is like, I think in my opinion and what I felt from the show, like she was genuinely there because she wanted to find a love connection, that she really wanted to meet somebody.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I just felt like in my perspective, I just felt like Nancy was a really genuine person.
She seems so sweet.
Yeah.
And she's so much better than, like, she's got her shit together. She's a bit older than him.
Yeah.
Like you could tell she's like she's very financially stable. She has like properties and shit.
Yeah, she's very successful.
Yeah, and she's doing. This is why it was such a shame to see her being so like have such low self-esteem.
You're right, because I forgot she had like a whole property empire.
Yeah,
she was like really.
I
growing.
thought that was going to be the major issue because like Bartiz is obviously in a different, which like, it's not necessarily a problem. Like he was an accountant, which is good. Like, but like I thought that was going to be a big issue because it seemed like she like she wanted to be like super successful and whatever.
But you're right. It is surprising because typically, or not typically, but like a lot of people that are driven in business, they're more like kind of forceful. You would think, but I guess she was just more. I honestly think she was desperately on there for love. I think she's been. I
think so. I think she has very low self-esteem.
Yeah, I think that's. Well, like and this show didn't help with Bartiz.
Yeah.
Like if anything, I feel so bad for her because she's gonna rewatch the show.
Oh,
and see him constantly berating her looks.
Do these people not know that people are gonna watch this?
It's crazy to me. Like I honestly, I really feel bad for her. She's gonna rewatch this, and imagine if you're already self-conscious.
Oh my
god! And the
God.
whole time you're with this guy, and he's like, "Oh, I'm trying to get there physically. Like I can't get there physically," and I'm like.
And it's weird because it's like in the very beginning when they were first together in like Mexico, apparently they like had their hands all over each other.
Yeah, they couldn't get enough.
And it was like 2 days later, they're like, oh no, like we're just not physically there. It's like, okay, guys, like you've literally been in the relationship for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's
wild.
that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the next couple. Okay, we can talk about the most boring couple, which is the Israeli girl and the Brendan and Alexis. I mean, I feel like I already knew see, this is the thing. I kind of like was like, okay, I kind of knew that they were going to get married.
Yeah.
Like to me, it was like very obvious. But I think the reason how I knew all the predictions, this is how, because in the very end, when they were like showing all the couples before the marriage, they always try to make it seem like there's like some kind of issue if it's a couple that's going to say yes.
I see.
So even with Brendan and Alexis, even though they had literally no issues through the entire thing, but they tried to make some kind of small issue out of something. I can't remember what it was.
It was finances, wasn't it?
Maybe it was part of that.
Yeah.
And I think also like when they were meeting up with like Alexis's friends who are like a little bit douchey. They seem kind of snobby. I'm not going to lie. And also like, can we talk about her? Okay, let's talk about her family.
Oh yeah.
Because like her dad, I'm sorry. He seems kind of like a
He's very traditional.
Is he though? Like again, I think the family's traditional, fair.
Yeah, because his whole thing, from what I remember on the show.
Oh, he was like, "Can you take care of my daughter?
Can you take care of my daughter? Can you take care of my daughter?" Because obviously, like,
bitch, you look wealthy.
I know they are. Her family's wealthy, and like her dad, obviously, like, because she was saying like. I don't even know what Alexis's job was, but like
I know, I can't remember, but like it was something like pretty decent, I think.
Yeah, but also I think her parents or her dad gives her a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
remember
they're very well off.
Yeah, she's just like, I just don't really like look at things. I just want to have a good time. Like I don't, do and I'm like, well, clearly you're not on any kind of budget.
Yeah, yeah. And the way that the dad reminds me of like a mafia dad or like, you know what I mean? Just very like, hey son, come over here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, I want to make you a deal you can't refuse.
You know?
I don't know. Like, it was strange.
Like, you know how there always are like the parents would like be like, oh, let's have an aside with you for a second. Outside in this, picturesque balcony.
With all the cameras rolling.
Yeah. And I'm like,
And then like what bothered me about like, here's
Alexis
the thing
and Brendan.
about like Alexis, like the family thing, when the dad goes aside with like Brendan and stuff, and then they're talking, he's like, yeah, well, instead of like being like, are you an honest man, are you like, like kind of getting into his character, it was very much like, can you financially provide for Alexis? Alexis likes the finer things in life. She likes to travel. We like to have a good time. I'm like, this is very like surface level shit. Like, I'm sure you can find a guy that can pay for all that, but is that really all you're looking for?
Well, exactly. And think about it, like a lot of the people that will just pay for that shit, like they use it as a control mechanism.
Exactly. And he seemed like such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Brendan,
he's kind of boring.
Yeah. Brendan would not be my cup of tea, to be honest.
But I think he's like a safe. Maybe he should be your cup of tea, Daniel.
Yeah, that's true. He probably should be.
Like you would go for like the Bartiz.
Yeah, less of the Bartiz and the Coles and more of the Brennans.
You know what? I think like when I was younger, I wouldn't go for Brendan at all.
Yeah.
But I think like overall, just looking at everything, although after the reunion, I found him really annoying. And I was never like super attracted to him.
Yeah.
But I think he would treat Alexis very well. Like he would treat her like a queen.
But like also part of the reason why I was like on the fence about them getting married. I thought they were gonna get married, but then I was like, this is gonna be the dramatic one. But part of it is like Alexis like throughout the show, and I don't know if this is just my interpretation, she
Didn't
just
seem that into it.
yeah, she seemed. Brennan seemed really into it.
He
Seemed
was like he was ready to get married from the moment. Yeah.
He was fucking obsessed with her.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Like, I think that's great.
Yeah.
But like her, I felt like she
was
liked
unsure.
him. Yeah, she liked him, but I felt like this is my perspective. Like
Yeah.
she just seemed kind of not bored, but kind of like blasé.
I think she was a little bit in the beginning.
But that might just be her
But
personality.
I think that sometimes with those type of relationships, this might be controversial for me to say. Sometimes it's nice to have it's a healthier dynamic to have the guy like you a little more.
This is what you want, Rose.
This is that's not what I want. Are you serious? That's not what I want.
You want the guy to be like obsessed.
No, are you joking?
No.
Do you know how many situations I did not like?
Okay.
Trust me, I wish I liked it.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
But of course, you also have to like them too.
Yeah,
I think the problem
yeah.
is like usually Anyway, let's not talk about my psychology.
Let's not.
Anyway,
That's for
another topic.
That's for an exclusive episode.
Exactly. But I think like it in an ideal world, though, of course you want the woman to be in love with the man as well.
Yeah.
But if the man is like obsessed, it's kind of like not obsessed in like an unhealthy way.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a good thing because then I feel like men, they're just. They're more likely to do assholey things. Okay, that's a controversial.
That is a controversial. That is.
Well, let's look at the statistics on who cheats more than the other.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying.
But who? Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's not go down this rabbit hole.
But I think at the end when I saw the reunion with them, Alexis did say, and I knew this would happen. This is the thing. Guys like Brennan is not like initially you're not like ooh, you're not like a shining knight in armor or whatever. But he probably grows on you.
Yeah.
And because he's so like, affectionate and likes her and like whatever, she'll probably grow to like really love him.
He's a grower.
He's a grower. I knew you were waiting to say that.
I was.
He's a grower. And and I think so even she said like now I'm more like lovey-dovey and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think, she opens up her, heart to him. So
was it you or somebody,
Yeah.
or is this one of your sayings? No, I don't know if it is. It takes girls longer to like fall for guys. Guys, when they fall really hard, really fast, and then
I don't know.
And then.
Or was it the other way?
Or the other way. I can't remember because it's basically when a guy and a girl break up, the girl generally gets over it much faster.
Yes, but I know that for a fact.
But the guy generally takes like a lot longer.
But that's mainly because they don't deal with their emotions right away.
That's true.
So that could be different.
That's
but
a
I
side
think,
note. Yeah.
I think it depends. Like for me, but I'm not like a typical. You got a wedgie?
No, I'm just gonna take that.
I feel like I'm not a typical like girl though. So like I usually get compared to men. Although I think that's not fair. I think that there's men and women all sides. Okay.
Exactly, there is. I mean, look at me. I'm more. Like, people would say I'm more on the women's side.
For me, it takes me a very long time to like fall for anybody. So I would be probably like the Alexis type, like because like in the beginning I would be unsure, but then because like this guy is, so then I might open up to him as long as the values align and all these other things.
Yeah.
My attraction grows through the time if the guy's worth it, whatever.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I do think guys tend to fall faster, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh no, I think it's not that they fall faster, but when a guy falls,
they fall harder.
He falls like they fall hard. Like a girl might fall faster, but
we're
not
so
quite
generalizing everything, guys.
We are.
All
Yeah,
generalization.
This is total generalization.
Yeah.
But it might take a guy a bit longer, whatever. But when he does fall, he fucking falls down that ravine.
Yeah.
And then when the breakup happens, it takes him forever.
Oh my god.
To get back out of that mindset.
The problem is they try to ignore their emotions in the very beginning when they break up. This is honestly, without a doubt, this happens in like 90% of straight couple relationships.
Yeah.
They break up and the woman immediately is like fucking bawling her eyes out, calls her friends, goes out for wine, like fucking is like in the emotions, is a hot fucking mess. You're bawling your eyes out, whatever, watching sad movies, listening to sad music. And then in a few weeks, depending on how long the relationship was, maybe in like a few weeks, maybe in a few months, you're over it. Okay. Yeah. And then you're like, you know what? That's actually a good thing that happened. Blah, blah, blah. Men, I don't know what they do immediately. Okay. Maybe they just like go drinking with their friends. Okay. Yeah. But of course they never talk about their feelings because that's, a womanly thing to do. And then they go months and they kind of ignore their feelings. They suppress their emotions. And then months later, they have a mental breakdown and then they start contacting the ex.
And it happens always. Literally,
every time. It's clockwork.
All of my straight girlfriends, every single one of them has experienced this.
It is
without
fail.
Clockwork. Always. And sometimes it can be a while later. One of my friends.
Yeah, it can be years later.
She broke up with her boyfriend. This is in the UK. So they broke up. A year and a half later,
Yeah.
starts texting her and like, how are you?
Yeah.
You know, all this shit. And
Always.
she's like, it's been a year and a half, buddy. Like, you don't care how
It's
I am.
because they're not dealing with their emotions.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's always. Anyway, so that's
Yeah.
Alexis and Brennan.
Alexis
Any
and
other
Brennan.
comments on them?
Meh.
They're married.
They're
doing
married.
well.
They got married.
Okay,
They
seem
stayed
cute.
together. Yeah.
I
So
did. Yeah.
The reunion happens a year later, I think. So they're
Right.
still together after a year, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they, who knows, like what'll happen.
Yeah.
It's still the honeymoon phase.
This
Let's
is
be
very
real.
true. Yeah.
But they seem to be happy, so
Yeah.
that's good. So now we're gonna talk about
Who?
who should we talk about? Okay, Cole and Zeneb.
Oh my God.
So much to discuss with this couple.
Oh,
Guys. How much time we
this
got?
this couple.
It's so fucking annoying on so many levels.
Oh my
I did
goodness.
not like either of them. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, and I'm not gonna lie. I really didn't like Zeneb even more.
Yeah, I think both of them. Came into this relationship and
They should not. First of all, how did they even connect in the pause? They
I
are
don't-
complete opposites.
Oh my God,
not in like a good way.
no, I know, and in like very very, pardon me, different people, and like it's funny because they would argue and fight so much, and then they were always like, let's just get back to how we were in the pods, and I'm like, were you guys ever good in the pods?
Like I'm sorry. I know we didn't get much like screen time with them there.
Yeah.
but it was very unbelievable from the start. I'm like, what happened between you 2 Like,
Mm-hmm.
how are you even connected?
Like it was really really weird.
It was so fucking weird. Again, it's just because they wanted to get married so that they can like be on the
show.
show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Cole, here's the thing. I don't find him attractive as
Mm-hmm.
personality wise. I think he's like a bro.
He reminds me of a frat boy.
Yes, literally a frat boy.
He's a frat boy.
So I don't think he necessarily is malicious, but I think he has a lot of growing up to do. He's very immature.
I mean, he's only 26, right?
Is he only 26?
I think he's like
And I'm sorry,
26.
can we talk about how like all the douchey, like immature broy dudes are real estate dudes?
Oh my God, I know.
Because remember last season?
Oh
what
my-
was the guy?
Oh, what was his
the
name?
guy that was like married, the Asian girl.
Yeah, the Korean girl.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But he was also a real
Oh
real
my-
estate douche.
Fuck, he was
worse.
annoying.
He
Yeah, he
was
was-
worse than Cole.
Oh, he was such a bro though.
Ew, he was so
like,
gross.
chest pump, yeah. I was like, oh my God. Ew.
So Cole, I think like they were the worst match because Zeneb was so insecure. I've never seen a more insecure 30-year-old in my life.
I know she, and the crazy thing is
was
like
gorgeous.
she's so beautiful, and she was like everything. She was like, oh, I
I'm
don't want.
so fat.
I don't want to go into the water. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I'm like, and this is the thing, guys. Like, for those of you obviously listening to the podcast, like for those of you that are in your 20s, quite often you are more insecure in your 20s.
Yes.
Once you hit into your 30s, though, yes, there's certain things that we're obviously insecure about as well, but it becomes less of a thing.
Yes,
Like,
I've never seen someone that is in their 30s that's so insecure.
no, and she just and it was just like little things, and I was like, you're a successful like
Yes.
woman, like own it. Like,
I know.
You know,
She has issues. She needs to go to therapy, man.
I think that's probably a big part of the
Yeah.
problem. I think they both, like, Cole needs to grow the fuck up,
Yeah.
and she needs to she needs to talk out some of her like insecurities.
Yeah,
and
like I
stuff.
get that she's gone through this like traumatic experience in her life, like her parents passed away.
Yeah.
Like that is fucking traumatic. Don't get me
So
wrong.
sad.
But it's like, okay, you can't just carry that with you forever. Like you you got to learn, you got to deal with it somehow.
Yeah.
And then they were the worst match because like Cole, I feel like he just said shit without thinking.
Oh, he did.
So he would just say shit
Yeah.
without considering someone's feelings, without thinking about like how is this gonna make somebody feel.
because he has no what's it called?
Filter?
Like reflection though. Like, when you can reflect on the situation, like,
Yeah, he was just unaware.
yeah, like clueless.
Clueless.
Yeah.
So he would say stuff like for example, if Zeneb, like he was so clueless. Like I don't even think he knew that Zeneb was super insecure.
Yeah.
Even though it was so obvious. Like she would say stuff like, oh, like I look so different without makeup. Like who the fuck says that, first of all? Like
Yeah.
again, in my early 20s, yes, I
Yeah.
probably would have said that shit just to like preemptively, because I would be insecure about not wearing makeup. So I would preemptively tell the guy like, oh, I look so different without makeup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, come on, like you're in your 30s. Like,
I
why
know.
do you have to say that? And second of all, like you don't look that different without makeup. Like you're a girl wearing makeup. You're gonna look a little different without makeup. Like it's fine. You're gorgeous
Exactly.
without it.
Exactly.
Anyways, but she'll say that shit to him, and then he, not understanding that that's like her insecurity, would be like, oh, like you do look different without makeup.
It's like I woke up next to another person.
Yeah.
I'm like, Cole.
Oh my
Do
God.
not
Like,
say
you wanna
that.
Slap him and be like, are you fucking stupid?
I know, but like also like first of all, like no filter, no.
It's the worst match.
Oh, it was like the worst. And also, like, it's not even just about that he had no filter, but also he was just so fucking immature. Like, there was a scene where he goes into the shower and he's like in the shower and he starts like
it just being annoying.
being annoying. Yeah. Or he'll like do things like imagine like you're cooking and he'd be like, like just constantly though. And you're like, okay, fuck off. Like, I'm trying to do something here.
Well, I think he was being, again, to some people, it might be like cute and it might be like, endearing.
Yeah.
But again, Zainab was the opposite of somebody that would accept that.
Complete opposite.
She was also very negative all the time.
Condescending.
And very condescending.
Yeah.
Just completely just like not playful at all.
No.
I barely saw her smile.
I know. She was very like, and then she'd really come in and she'd be like,
She's just negative Nancy.
ew, are you cooking the chicken
Oh
like
my God.
that?
That was my least favorite scene.
Are you not going to season it?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
When I saw that scene, I was like, oh, I really hate her.
I know. And he was like, well, because he wanted to cook her a meal, right? And she's like,
and then her first comment was like, oh, you're finally cooking for me. Just like every comment was like
that undertoned,
it was
passive aggressive.
Exactly. It was never like, oh my God, then thanks for cooking. It was like, oh, you're finally cooking. And then it'd be like, why are you not seasoning it?
Like, what are you doing here? Why are you chopping the vegetables like this? What
Oh
are you
my
doing
God,
here?
can
I was
you
like,
imagine?
I would be like, get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Yeah, I would be so fucking pissed.
It's funny. I feel like I have experience cooking with someone like that. Pretty sure that curry video.
Daniel, you are not my romantic partner.
This is true. This is very true. You'll be a bit nicer to them, right?
You know what? I will try to be better. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm learning. Okay.
I was
learning.
This is now. The more we're talking about this, is sounding so vaguely familiar. Why are you chopping the vegetables like this? Why are you throwing everything into the pan right now? Why are you waiting to do this? Throw everything in together. Trust me. No, trust me. And if you guys want to see that video, check out Cheap Lazy Vegan, Daniel's curry recipe. And you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, Rose, continue. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt there.
Anyways, moving on.
It is SaVeg hour in here.
Can we talk about also the reunion and the whole cuties? First of all, I did not know those little oranges were called cuties.
No, I didn't know either.
I thought they were called like tangerines.
Yeah, me too, or mandarins.
Or mandarins.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in the reunion, I'm sure you guys have all seen it. Mm-hmm. So in the so they don't get married. They don't get married, right? Yeah, they don't get married. They don't get married.
She starts. He never says anything.
Yeah. She went on and on.
But also she was so rude.
It was so bad. It was actually painful.
And I was like, and
it's like bitch decided she wasn't going to marry him from the beginning.
Oh yeah,
but she held
knew.
on. Yeah,
because she wanted to be on the show.
Yeah, and she wanted to like say that whole speech to him.
Exactly, to
and
look like
you
she's
destroyed my self-esteem.
Yeah, and it's like we saw from the beginning your self-esteem.
You had no self-esteem.
Exactly, and like I feel like you're right. I feel like she might have had in her mind this vision of how she wanted to portray herself on the show.
Yeah,
and I think she wanted to be this like strong, independent woman at the end to like give it to him.
She wanted to pull a deep tea.
Yes. She wanted
but she failed.
Exactly, because with deep tea, it's like
she was so sweet and lovely.
She fucking was the bomb.
We loved deep tea.
Exactly. Her though, Zainab, I'm like, your story arc is nothing like hers.
No.
Because you are already insecure, which, everybody has these like things, but it's like you're on this show to find love. You're condescending. You're not that nice to your partner.
Exactly.
Your partner also isn't the best to you as well.
Yeah, they're both just toxic.
It's just a bad situation. But then for her to go when instead of just being like, no, I can't marry you.
Yeah.
Like, we're not
have
compatible.
Some respect for him.
Exactly. For her to like throw him like so under the bus.
Yeah.
And then I feel like even on the reunion, a lot of people were quite harsh to Cole.
Oh my, dude, everyone was fucking so bad to Cole.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Cole.
Yeah.
In the reunion, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with everybody?
Because like, I'm not saying Cole's an angel by any stretch of the imagination, but Zainab was very condescending and passive aggressive. Like,
I think that she got everyone on her side.
Yeah.
Because like all the girls were like, talking to her. All the girls were like best friends, which is great.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure she like, spun some things and got everyone to, believe everything. And then Brennan hears everything from Alexis, and of course everything Alexis says is Bible to Brennan.
Of course, yeah.
So then he starts attacking him too, and then Bartice, the real villain of the show,
oh god,
doesn't get any of the heat.
I know, which if anybody should have got a lot of heat, it's Bartice.
Oh my god,
for the way that he treated Nancy.
Yeah,
and how every opportunity he knocked her physical appearance.
Yeah,
like not like directly, but was like, oh, that physical connection. I just gotta get past it.
Oh yeah, looks matter.
Yeah,
looks matter.
Oh my,
bitch, why are you on Love Is Blind?
Oh my, I know. Exactly.
And you're talking like she looks like a troll, bitch.
I know. It's like looks matter. You're on a show called Love Is Blind.
And your fiance is gorgeous. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Oh god.
But then, oh my god.
I do feel like Cole definitely got unnecessary. Yes. Yeah, give him a bit of heat, but also,
but it was too much.
Exactly. Give Zainab a bit of heat.
Yeah.
Don't be so passive aggressive. Don't be so condescending. Like it works both ways.
Yeah.
I don't think either one was right or wrong.
Exactly.
To per se, it's like two not compatible people in a bad situation, but I don't feel like the amount of heat that Cole got was justified.
Exactly. I think they just wanted to like have a villain like we had in the last season.
Oh, what was that guy's?
I can't remember his name.
Shikra.
Wait, Sheik? No, it's
Shake.
Yeah, Shake.
I think it was like Shake.
Yeah.
Something like this. Anyway, I mean, but he was
like the villain. And so I think they wanted to make a villain out of the season.
They almost wanted to do the same thing with Cole and Zanab.
Yes.
But it was like Cole wasn't that villain.
Yeah, no.
Like he was not great either.
He wasn't great, and he definitely needs to mature, but he wasn't like evil.
Exactly.
Okay?
And then Zanab was no dipty.
Yeah.
Like
exactly. So let's continue on from that and talk about that pool scene that they kept going. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, they milked.
I know. I was like, is this even that big of a deal?
It was not.
Who the fuck cares this much about this goddamn pool scene?
And that pool scene was the thread that went through the entire.
It was so annoying.
Show.
I'm like, were you born yesterday?
I know.
Who the fuck cares? The conversation between Cole and what's her face ballerina chick.
Was it Natalie? No.
Was it? I can't remember.
Natalie. No, what's her
Hold on,
name?
I screenshot it. Hold on.
Kelsey? No,
it was not Kelsey. It was Colleen.
Right.
Cole and Colleen. They made it seem like they fucking had sex in that pool.
I know, literally, with everyone watching.
Yeah. It was like the most kind of innocent sounding fucking conversation I've ever heard.
It was literally like, yeah, if I saw you in a bar, I would come over and say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would too.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we were in the real world. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think you're cute too.
Yeah.
That was the extent of it.
And then like everybody was blowing it up.
Oh my God. Everyone acted like literally they were like fucking in the pool 10 times.
Oh my God, I know.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like
Guys,
ridiculous.
Like, are they stupid? I'm sure, like, literally, I was like, are we seriously seeing the same scene? Because I don't see, like, of course, it's a little, like, sure, mention it once.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a little, like, annoying that you said that after you got engaged and your partner is, like, right there.
Yeah.
But first of all, y'all are all talking to each other. So, like, of course, that's kind of shit is going to come up.
Exactly.
And, like, it's not that big of a deal to bring
No.
up constantly throughout the goddamn
Oh
fucking
my
series.
God. But I feel like they almost took that incident because I feel like maybe there wasn't enough incidences and they just like kept it going. I remember
it's like they needed so much drama.
I know. I was like, I don't know, episode 11 and we were still talking about this. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I know.
Why are we still talking about this? Like, and then everyone made a big deal. At one point, Zeneb and Matt had to talk about it.
I
and
know.
Cole and Matt had to talk about it. And Colleen and Zeneb and Colleen and Cole. And I was like, okay, guys, like this is...
Can you calm the fuck down?
Exactly. I'm like, let's take this from like a 10 to like a 2 and just get over it. Like,
and also, like, let's be honest. Like, sure, you got engaged, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you literally all just met each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're like, even though you're engaged, you're gonna like, it's not gonna be an immediate, like immediately I'm like fully committed to this one person that I literally met 3 hours ago. Okay. So of course you're gonna have these conversations, especially if you had to do such deep conversations in the pods.
Such deep and intimate. Rose will never understand.
Exactly.
We will never.
So of course you might mention, like I think you're quite attractive in real life.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
I don't know. But
Anyway.
it was, and Matt.
Oh my. Okay, so now let's move on to Colleen and Matt.
Oh my God.
Matt, everyone is saying on social media that he is an abuser.
But he is.
Yeah.
Not fully, but like to some degree, like.
Well, we don't know the full story.
Yeah, we don't. But like, because he obviously has some trauma from being cheated.
People using trauma as an excuse for their bad behavior.
Oh, but for him to lose his shit the way he does.
know.
I actually was taken aback a bit because like after the whole Colleen and Cole situation, and I feel like he lost that at Colleen a lot.
Oh, he lost it at the Colleen and Cole. He was like, I need to end this.
Yeah.
Because like, again, because
Who
of
does this? Who does this?
normal people.
I know. I was like, you're right. I was like, did they kiss? Did I miss something? Like the whole time I was like, do I need to go back an episode? Like, did they fuck in the pool? Like,
exactly. Literally, they had like a 2-sentence exchange.
I know, like a little conversation.
And like, okay, a little flirty, sure.
Yeah.
But like, what the fuck? Are you that insecure?
Who hasn't flirted with someone in a pool?
Exactly.
Okay, come on. God damn.
Like, are you that fucking insecure?
I know. But he was like, yeah, I would never be with a woman that would say that thing. That would say that. Why would you say that? That's so disrespectful to me. Who do you think you are?
And then he was like leaving her that night.
I know. It was crazy. I was like, what the actual fuck is going on?
He was insane. I also thought he was physically attractive.
Yeah.
But after his whole like outburst and stuff, I
oh
was
my
like,
God.
Oh my fucking God.
He went from like good looking to like
nothing.
Yeah, but he also like he had a really bad tattoo as well. Did you see his tattoo?
Oh, I can't remember. Oh my God. But you know what the worst part was? I feel like Colleen, like that's another couple where I felt like they just got married because they wanted to like be on the show.
Yeah.
And like Colleen just wanted to be proposed to. Like because she was like upset that she got rejected by like 2 guys. I can't remember which guys.
Yeah.
and she was just like upset.
Cole, I think rejected
Cole,
her.
and then I
Bartiz?
think maybe Bartiz. Yeah. And then she was like upset. And then, like, the next thing you know, she's like in love with Matt.
I know.
I'm like, okay, you guys are not very believable.
She had the conversation with Matt, and then she came out and she's like, guys, I'm all good now.
Exactly. So she comes across to me as one of those girls that's like, if the guy likes you, she'll just go for it.
Yeah.
It's like she doesn't really have I don't want to say she doesn't have a mind of her own, but she's very like, whatever guy like likes me, like I will like him.
Yeah. I'm happy to
because like, I'm sorry, that kind of fucking behavior is literally like not a red flag. It is a deal breaker. Okay, if a guy is like, oh, like freaks out that much over something that little, like, you
the way
know,
he was yelling too.
Exactly. And this is like literally a few days into this fucking relationship, so it's like you just know he's gonna get worse and worse.
Oh yeah, I think he has some serious anger management issues.
Yes, that's when you're supposed to be on your best behavior. And like, I'm sorry, did they not seem weird at the reunion?
A little bit, yeah.
Like she seemed like she was screaming for help, man.
Oh god,
it was like a free Colleen situation.
God. Damn, Rose. We making some predictions here.
They were like, oh yeah, we're really happy.
And maybe they are, and all the power to them. But again, I agree with you. Like, if I started seeing somebody, even if it was in the context of that show, and like, the thing is, if they were all of a sudden like, even within a couple days, I know it's like an intense situation, but like the way that you handle conflict is a really good indicator of what the future is going to be like with that person. And if their first reaction of a conflict is to like scream and shout and get crazy, like that is not somebody that you can like because part of life is like problem solving, right? Like you're gonna have fights with your partner no matter what, and how you deal with them and get over them, and not like if the person has this like wild craziness, it's like, this is not okay. Like that's not a normal response to conflict.
No,
you know, like maybe once in a very, very, very blue moon, but like this, like I
something so tiny.
I know that's where I'm like, oh god,
that is
like,
literally a deal breaker. Like if someone that's exactly it. If somebody has an outburst like that. For me, it's like, even if somebody started yelling at me, I feel like that would be a deal breaker. Yeah. Like, you just don't. Like, I'm sorry. That's just not acceptable to me. Yeah. So, yeah. To my future boyfriend, if you ever start yelling, it's done. Yeah,
that's true. And actually, that makes sense. Like, I don't think anyone, like, I mean, I've not really, like, other than my parents.
That's the thing. Like, like family, I think, like, you learn what you can't accept. Yeah. And I've learned through the years of living that one thing I will not accept is anger issues. Yeah. Sure, we all get angry, but how you deal with that anger is important. And of course,
fundamental.
Exactly. People come from trauma and all these things. Yeah. But like, I am not here to fix your trauma. Yeah. So
and also, it's kind of scary. Like if someone starts yelling at you.
Exactly.
And you can't calm them down.
That is definitely a guy that could easily like start being physical with you as well. Yeah. So it's like, if you are that angry that quickly in the first few days of our fucking relationship over something so minuscule.
It's just
like, what if something else happened? It's like, you're gonna fucking literally, like, I wouldn't be surprised if you start punching me or something. You know what I mean?
Well, and like I said again, it's like how you deal with these situations as they come up. Like, and you're gonna face harder situations than your partner innocently chat with someone in a fucking pool. Like,
oh my god, honestly. And then can we talk about how Cole was like obsessed with Colleen?
I know he is,
and like, well, not necessarily just like literally saying how Colleen was like the hottest one.
Yeah, it's funny because both him and Bartiz obsessed with obviously other girls that they didn't end up with, right? Like not obsessed, but like, you know, Bartiz talking about Raven.
How hot they were.
Exactly. And I'm like, guys, you're on a show called Love is Blind. Like your whole purpose of being on that show is because you've tried dating your way, met probably really hot girls and had a good time with a lot of hot girls, and it hasn't been successful. So you come on this show because you want that genuine, that
deep connection.
And then you literally, the second you have that with somebody, well, Zineb and Cole, that's debatable.
It's questionable.
Yeah, even Bartiz and Nancy.
Yeah, questionable.
Exactly. But I'm like, you go on a show for that exact purpose, and then they're like that guy Shaker or whatever.
Shake or something. Yeah.
Like literally, you guys are just going back to looks as it is.
Yeah. Immediately.
Know? Like you're like, oh, I like Colleen's more my type, you know, physically. And also the fact that Cole did not stop telling Zineb that.
Yeah, I know.
You're not my usual type.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I would usually go for.
Yeah, that's my type.
And I'm sorry, like, can we talk about how Colleen, like, the show made it seem like these shows always like pick a girl that they like want to make us believe that is like the hottest girl on the show, and it's like never the hottest girl that they try to make. Like, for example, like in the Ultimatum, whatever, there was that one blonde girl or something that everyone was like, oh my gosh, she's like so hot or whatever.
Right, Madeline or whatever.
And she was like, and she was just, I don't know, in my opinion, she was just like very normal, average looking white girl.
She was.
They always take some average looking white girl and try to make it seem like they're like fucking Victoria's Secret model. And like, I don't want to like knock on Colleen. I think she's very cute and I think she is pretty. But I don't think she's drop dead gorgeous. I think she looks like an average looking, above average white girl.
Yeah, this is
but
the thing.
she just looks like a white girl.
I know. I feel like there's been so many like other, like, for example, in the ultimatum.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the black girl's name was.
Oh,
but
she was gorgeous.
Literally, like,
she was also very annoying, but she was gorgeous.
Yeah, but she was like stunning, and I'm like, but yet they tried to promote Madeline as like the you know, and again, we're being a bit superficial here, guys, but like it does seem like they have this narrative, and it always focuses on like the white girl. It's like, oh, yeah, this white girl, you know what I mean? And it's like,
and like Cole just kept going on about how like Colleen's so hot. I was like, I know, she looks like
she's pretty. She's a pretty girl.
I'm sure you could find 20 of her in any bar in Texas.
No, true. Like, she looks like a typical, yeah.
She's very cute. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
She does look cute. Mm-hmm. But maybe I'm seeing it from a woman's angle. I don't know. Like, yeah. And you're seeing it from a gay man's angle. I have no idea. Okay.
True.
Maybe straight men think different. But anyway, that's what I was, just a little observation.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Last couple.
Oh, yeah. Last couple.
SK and Raven.
Do you know the drama?
No.
Oh, okay, so let's talk about them first.
This is drama outside the show, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because basically, SK and Raven.
What were your thoughts on SK and Raven?
Initially, okay, first of all, Raven really grew on me.
Oh my god, me too. I love her.
I didn't like her. I did not like her at the beginning at all. I was like, who is this?
There's parts in the show where I didn't like her either.
Yeah.
But she definitely grew on me.
Oh yeah. As time went on, I became like a big Raven fan. Yeah. I was like, actually, I really like this girl. Like, you know, when that whole situation with Bartice, I was like, yes, like,
girl.
Fuck yeah. And I just love how she just shut it down. Like, oh, it was so good. And I just loved also the fact that like she is obviously stunning.
Oh, she was so pretty.
Yeah, and I could
not believe how pretty she was.
I know, and her like everything, like her, you know, she's a Pilates instructor.
Yeah.
She's all
oh my god.
And I love though that she reiterated like many times, and like I feel like she's the kind of person where, you know, whether or not we think they're actors or not, you know, she's the kind of person that at least portrayed that she went on the show. Typically, she's a girl that, you know, guys would approach her at the bar.
Absolutely,
she would get so much attention. You know, but she came on this show because she wanted to meet someone past that, and I really feel like, at least as my perception, as she grew on me, because the whole scene with Bartice really emphasized like Bartice is the kind of guy that would go up to her in the bar, that would chat her up, but she's been with so many of those guys, and she's like, I'm not here for this, you know, like I'm more than just this fucking gorgeous body and beautiful face, you know, like, so she really grew on me. SK was really interesting, because he seemed very not into anything.
Really?
Like, kind of like I didn't really feel like in the beginning. I feel like they started to come together towards the end though.
Yes.
And I was like, actually, I'm starting to see this work.
Yeah.
And they like started complimenting each other.
Yeah.
So actually, in the end, I did think they were gonna get married.
Yeah.
And I was shocked that he said no. But his reasoning made sense to me.
I think. Oh, what was his reasoning again?
So his reasoning was he still wanted to be with her.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to marry her because he said like basically they both live really busy lives, and he was actually going to grad school in a different city for like 2 years.
Yes.
And they were going to try to like do long distance and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's like, I don't want to marry you and force you to do this.
Right.
Like I want it to be more like an active choice of ours.
Right.
Sort of. And that's why he was like, no, I can't do this right now. Like our lives are in different paths right now.
Yeah.
And like maybe after he gets his master's, because he's like, you're not about to move to another city. Like your job is here, which I thought was like a pretty like adult thing to like talk about.
And so you didn't think that he was really into her?
Not at the beginning. I thought it took time. I think
the whole couple, like, that was my perception. My entire perception was like in the very beginning when they were together, I was like, this is weird.
I know they felt like the whole chemistry
again,
and everything felt off.
And then they also probably again maybe just wanted to be on the show. Yeah. So they just like wanted to get married to anybody. Yeah. So they got married and then like, or they got engaged.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, like I don't know, like they're kind of like unsure. They're both like not sure. They don't have chemistry. Yeah. But then I think they grew into each other.
And then I actually kind of liked them as a couple.
I really liked them at the very end. So I kind of wanted to get and then you could tell, I think for me, Raven was really not into it. For me, SK seemed very into it. Yeah. And Raven was not into SK at all. But I think SK grew on Raven, and SK was like my favorite through the entire time. Yeah. He was just like, he just seemed like the most genuine. He had his head on his shoulders. I loved his family.
Oh
like,
my god, his mom
was just the best mom.
Can we talk about the wedding?
Oh my, it was so cute.
And how like his mom went and how that moment with Raven.
I know.
Because Raven's family didn't go, did they?
I know, that's another thing.
Yeah, because they were like very not into the whole thing.
Exactly. And
she was like bawling, and I was like, she was like,
I know.
She's like, even though her parents weren't there, she's like, this was the perfect day. And I was like, oh my god.
I know.
Yeah.
It was, his mom was so sweet. Yeah. And I was just like, oh my god, like I want a man like SK. I was like, give me where was he from again?
I think Nigeria.
I was like, give me a Nigerian man somewhere.
Yeah. But I also love,
I'll make stew for you, okay?
Yeah, I loved how open his parents were, as his mom was as well, to the whole process.
Right.
But I do feel like certain cultures, because of the way that they get married sometimes, like I think I don't know the Nigerian culture, but I think sometimes they do like arranged marriages, things like this. So it's less of their cultures are less of like love matches like ours, where that's why for them, this type of show,
it might be actually normal.
Exactly. It's more normalized because they're probably like, oh, you met in an unconventional way.
Right.
But getting married so quickly and everything else is
conventional
not,
for them.
Exactly. It's not such a big, like, at least that's my perspective. I could be completely wrong. But
so like, were you happy when they were like together in the reunion?
Yeah, I thought it was really cute.
That was so cute. That was my favorite part. But then there's drama. Okay. I'm sorry to ruin everything for you.
Oh, God. They broke up.
Just wait.
He cheated on her. She cheated on him. She's with Bartise now. That better not be the fucking story, Rose. No. If she's with Bartise, I'm leaving right now.
Okay. So this is what happened.
Okay.
So after this whole thing, everyone's favorite was SK and Raven. Yeah. Okay. That was everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
And they were like milking it on social media. Like Raven was posting all these TikToks. They were adorable. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden there's all these TikToks that came out where, hold on, let me see if I can find it. I don't know the exact situation. Okay. Not that it really matters, but basically, SK found himself in the middle of a cheating scandal when a woman accused him of talking to her on a dating app while he was with Raven. The fitness instructor, for her part, took to social media to address the rumors. Mm-hmm. I don't have anything to say about it. To summarize, rumors are rumors and we're fine. We're good. So that's what Raven said.
Okay.
And then apparently there was, and then other TikToks still started coming out. There was like this one blonde girl. I don't know the exact situation, but there was a blonde girl that started showing pictures of her and SK together. Like they went on like a trip together and all this stuff. And then like apparently he was saying it was just the show, blah, blah, blah. And like, and then basically they went on this whole trip while apparently they were like, engaged or whatever. I don't know the full details, but they ended up breaking up, deleting all of whatever on social media. Yeah. And then now.
Oh, that makes me really sad.
I know. So basically people are saying SK was the real villain of this whole show.
Right.
Because he portrayed himself as this like really, really nice guy. And
wasn't he also the one that said like he was like opened up about his family life and how his parents or his dad was part of like what's it called when you have multiple wives?
Oh yeah, like polyamorous relationship. Because that's normal in Nigeria.
Exactly, and that was the community. That's how they like
live. And then he's like, I don't want that to my life.
I want my life. I want one woman. That's what I'm appreciative of.
This is scary because like SK just seemed so nice, and he seemed like he had a really good head on his shoulders.
This is why you never know.
So anyway, let me see what the actual like conclusion was based on this article. I don't know if this is true, but it says the pair confirmed via their respective Instagram stories in November 2022 that they had called it quits and amid accusations of SK's infidelity. And then it said, it's sad to announce that we are decided to go our separate ways. And it says, due to ongoing legal proceedings surrounding these allegations, we cannot provide additional details and ask that you please respect our privacy during this hard time. Thank you for following our love story and believing in us. And then it says, this journey has forever shaped our lives and we're so grateful for everyone, blah, blah, blah.
Legal proceedings.
So exactly. So people are like speculating. They're like, was it true then? Like maybe it was women, like people making this up.
Yeah.
It says that,
like people are they're suing other people.
Maybe
for false.
Maybe
false for slander.
Yeah. It says taking legal action. The data engineer took to social media. I guess he's the data engineer. Social media to deny cheating allegations and claims that he would be taking legal action against those who accused him. And then it says, "Dear Love is Blind family, Raven and I have left the Love is Blind altar as single individuals who went back to dating other people." So this is what he's saying.
Yeah.
And then he said, while on our journey back together hasn't been straightforward, the unique emotional connection we developed from this experiment kept us together as friends and helped rekindle our relationship after the fact. So what he's saying is that it was when they were broken up that he was dating other people. He said that the rumors he was unfaithful to the Texas native were falsely misrepresented with malicious intent to extort, and the pair would be actively pursuing legal actions against the accuser. Yeah. And he says, he concluded his statement by apologizing to Raven, my family, and everyone involved for any pain he caused, sharing that he and the yoga instructor would continue to support each other. Now, my question is, why did they break up if
everything was fake?
Exactly.
But maybe there was just like too much pressure on their relationship from social media. So they were like, you know what? Let's just like, this is too much. Like, I hate, like, because they probably fought about these allegations. Like, definitely. Like, they would have had discussions. When it comes out that it's all false or whatever, maybe if Raven believes. Exactly. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe they're just like, you know what? Honestly, we both like each other. But the pressure from social media and from all this, it's too much. Like, let's just go our separate ways. Like, date other people because then we won't have that scrutiny on the relationship.
True,
I think that's why a lot of like celebrities break up and stuff. They have like, especially those celebrity power couples where they become like a focal point, like where everybody's like obsessed with them. It like becomes too much pressure on the relationship. And they're like, you know what? It's not, you know, we like each other, but this is just adding too much stress. So that
could be it.
God damn.
Who knows? So we don't know if SK is the villain.
Nope. We don't know for sure, guys. Nothing's been confirmed.
Oh God. I mean, I'm hoping that, you know, he's not.
It's
because I would like to
Fingers
maintain
crossed.
that little bit of hope that there are good men out there.
Yes.
And that I could not be like so easily deceived. God damn.
I know. It's so scary.
He was like my favorite from like he seemed a little boring. Don't get me wrong. Like kind of in the beginning, I was like, is he kind of boring? But he just seems like such a nice person.
Yeah. He's like a genuinely like good person.
Exactly. So I hope, you know, I hope he's a nice person.
And I hope that the rumors are false.
Exactly.
So Rose, the ultimate question. Is love blind?
Love is blurry as hell.
It definitely is. Like, I mean, come on. Like,
are you joking?
I do really wish, like, again, we talk about this every time we talk about Love is Blind. I wish that they would honestly put some people together in there that aren't conventionally attractive.
Exactly.
And see if they make these intense emotional connections.
And if that continues.
Yeah, because I mean, you have these ridiculously good looking people that are already, you know, the physical. I need to get there physically. Looks are looks.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta, you know, looks are important.
I know. It's like, why are you on Love is Blind?
I know. Like both Bartice and Cole.
Yeah.
I feel like they shouldn't have been on the show.
No.
Because they were like, obviously they like the superficial stuff. They're like, you know, they're young guys. Like, not saying that all young guys are like that. But they're like very like focused. Both of them. Cole with Colleen and Bartice with Raven. They're like obsessed with that look.
Yeah.
Like looks. And I'm like, this is not why you guys came on the show.
Yeah. But I think also Cole brought up something that was actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
That I think like we might overlook. So of course like looks are not the only thing. And also I think what Cole said was, because when they were first starting, like when they first got out of the pods or whatever, and they were like together, he was saying to somebody, he was like, you know, it's weird because it wasn't just like Zaneb's looks. He said something like, you know, it's like the way that we connected to each other in the pods, like because we couldn't see each other, I couldn't see your facial expressions.
Right.
I couldn't see all the little like, you know, gestures.
The nuances.
And the nuances of like communication, because we communicate so much through so many different things, not just our looks. Like, you know, the facial expressions you make is very important.
Like doing stuff like, I had the best time.
Exactly.
And then you're like,
whereas she was very sarcastic and stuff, which that doesn't translate when you're not seeing that person.
Yeah.
So I think, what he was saying was like, like because of that, it's like when I'm together with her, it seems strange because it feels like I'm with a different person than I was with when I was in the pod.
Which that actually does make sense.
I think it makes a lot of sense. I think people overlook so many different important things. And also it's the fact that like when you're in the pods, you're not in real life. Like you're just talking. Of course you can be a charming person.
Well, it's like being on like, you know, people talk about like being on like a chat or something, you know, online.
Exactly.
You can literally talk about it and you can all of a sudden have this, like you hear about all these people that have these online relationships.
Right.
Like with these people and they're so intense and then they meet in person.
And then they have nothing to talk about.
And they're like, oh, actually we had all this great conversation over chat.
Exactly.
And now I'm just like, ugh.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I could see that.
Yeah, so I think people need to realize that like it's not just about like it's not just like this person's not physically attractive. Yeah. It's so many different things. It's like you can be physically attractive, but if you like keep rolling your eyes at me every time I fucking talk,
exactly.
Or like you seem really standoffish by your body language. Yeah. Body language is so many things. So
huge. It's huge.
So it's this the idea that you can just like I don't know like fall in love without ever seeing each other just doesn't make any sense in general. Not even if you don't take into consideration like being shallow, quote unquote.
Yeah, because I think the premise of the show is like supposed to be about looks-ish.
I know, but they don't take into account, like for example, you're not just not focusing on looks, but again, your family dynamics, your culture, you know, like, you know, how do you live your life? Like, how's your apartment? Is it clean? Is it dirty? Do you have bugs in your toilet?
It's like, again, it's like Zeneb was like OCD, everything. And Cole's place was like, again, he's a frat boy. Like fucking dirty shit everywhere, everything. Like I'm not the most clean and organized person, but if I walked into somebody's house and it was like that, and I've done this before. I went on a date, went back to the guy's place, and we were
that guy's was worse than Cole's.
Oh my god. And like, again, I wouldn't say like I'm Mother Teresa. My place is like spick and span. Like definitely like there's clutter and there's things I need to organize and whatever.
Yeah.
But like this was like
There's
next
a line.
level. There's a
line.
Especially when you're getting a bit older. Like I'm like, come on guys. Like we're in our 30s now. Like,
I know. There's a line. Like if there's a little clutter, it's fine. I'm also a little bit messy.
Yeah.
But like
when you're 21 living in dorms, different story.
Exactly.
You know, that's kind of what Cole's place was like.
And he was like 25. Bitch, why are you on the show?
I know, exactly. I'm like,
again, people just trying to be social media famous.
But this is it, right? Like, especially those really like young people. Like, and again, I'm being ageist a little bit, but I'm just like, why?
No,
why?
Statistically, it doesn't make sense.
Exactly. I'm like, why is there this rush? It's like The Ultimatum.
Yeah.
When there was some couples
like 22.
on there, all the couples were like 21, 22, and they're like, we have to get married and have kids right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa.
Like, calm down, bitch.
I know you have all of your life to enjoy. Not saying that it's not enjoyable if you're married and have kids. I'm not saying that, but it obviously adds additional pressures and all sorts of things. It's like, enjoy your fucking 20s.
Exactly.
Like, you know, if you find a partner, great, but like, don't rush into it because you like that one girl that was like so obsessed with having kids.
Oh my God. It's like the worst.
I was like, you're 21 years old.
And also, like, if you have to like really force your partner to have kids and get married, like, is that really fun? Because that's just fucking stressful.
Exactly. Like, it's like, oh, you know what?
Just for the sake of a goal.
Our relationship is failing. You know what's going to help us? Let's get some kids. Yeah. Because if anything can patch a relationship, it's throwing some toddlers in there.
Yeah, that you have to take care of for the rest of your lives.
Exactly. You see these like families where it's like, oh my God, kids are not kids and pets both.
Yeah, are not going to fix your exactly. And the worst thing is like when you're in a bad place, like I don't understand why in a bad place you would have kids. I know. Because it's like literally you are tying yourself to the other person for the next 18 years.
Exactly. And I've heard so many people be like,
can you imagine?
No. Like I have friends of friends of friends that are like still linked with their old partners.
Exactly.
Because they have kids
of children.
Again. Yeah.
Because if you don't have kids, you can literally say goodbye forever.
Yes.
But if you have kids, I saw this like TikTok or something one time and it was like, I was having a bad day and then I thought to myself, hey, at least I don't have a kid with my ex.
It's so true. And then there's some people which I feel really bad for, but again, you know, you've made certain choices or whatever. Sure. Or have like whatever. But like there's some people that have like multiple kids with multiple partners.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
And then it would just get so messy. And again, I'm not judging anyone, but like I just think to myself, like how much extra stress that would add in my life, especially if the breakups weren't amicable. Yeah. You don't want those people in your life anymore. And now you're literally stuck with them forever.
Oh my God, exactly. Oh.
Even when your kid, like it might be that they turn
my worst nightmare.
I know. Even when your kid turns like 18, maybe you have less contact with the parent, the other parent. But then think about it, like graduation, special events,
you're gonna see these
always
people.
Fucking gonna be there.
Exactly. Always gonna be there. Ugh. I know. I can't even like imagine. I can't imagine.
I know. It's worse enough running into your ex somewhere.
I know.
Let alone having them at every single family event.
My God, can you imagine? I would fucking die.
I would too.
Anyway, guys.
This is why I refuse to get pregnant.
And on that positive note, guys, I hope you enjoyed our little Love is Blind breakdown. Let us know what your thoughts are on any of these people. Okay, were we a little too harsh? Let us know.
Might have been. The verdict is love is blurry, guys.
The verdict is love is blurry as hell. Okay? It ain't just blurry. It's blurry as hell.
And ain't no matter drinks gonna fix that. That will not give you any clarity, guys. It will not.
That's another reason why they connect so deeply because they're always drinking the juice. Exactly.
Of course I'm going to connect with someone. Fucking connect with anyone after a few drinks, you know? God damn.
Anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And if you are listening on any podcast platform, give us a little follow, give us a little rating of 5 stars, of course. Yep. And make sure you check us out on Patreon. Patreon.com/The SaVeg Podcast for the bonus episodes and the early content, ad-free content, all the goodness.
All the goodies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep.
Anything else?
Anyway, so that's patreon.com/The SaVeg Podcast, guys. Also, check us out. We do have a TikTok.
Even though I haven't been posting.
And we have an Instagram, which I haven't been posting.
Even though we haven't been posting, which we will get. Maybe that'll be our New Year's resolution.
Yeah, that can be our New Year's thing. But we have those. So check them out. They're the SaVeg Podcast.
We can't talk anymore, guys.
No, we've outdone our talking abilities.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
Next week.
Bye.